Hi, Suzy Rhoades here with PassMasters. In this video, I will go over a topic quiz from our property and casualty insurance course related to workers' compensation. Let's get started. An employee injured at work must be covered by workers' compensation unless the safety procedures were ignored, the accident was their fault, the injured employee was found to be intoxicated and the employer can prove that this impairment was the direct cause of the accident was caused by a coworker. Workers' compensation is no-fault coverage. However, if the injured employee was found to be intoxicated and the employer can prove that this impairment was the direct cause of the accident, the claim may be denied. So we picked what we believed was the correct answer. We know we got it right because we got that green check mark. For all of our questions, you can click Show Explanation and read the rationale, or you can listen. An employee injured at work. All of our questions have audio explanations for you. Which of these policies follows the principle of exclusive remedy? Commercial package policy, workers' compensation, crime insurance, commercial general liability. It is workers' compensation that follows the principle of exclusive remedy, providing no fault on the job coverage. Which is not correct about workers' compensation coverage. There is a funeral and burial benefit required by state law. The policy only pays when the employer is at fault. Medical expenses related to an occupational injury are paid without limit. Workers' compensation coverage is mandatory in most states when the business has one or more employees. The false statement, the policy only pays when the employer is at fault. That is incorrect. Workers' compensation coverage is no fault. A workers' compensation policy premium is based primarily upon which of the following factors? Payroll, gross revenue, net income, age of employees. It is primarily based upon the business's payroll. Which statement is not correct regarding workers' compensation in most states? Occupational disease is excluded. Loss of income is covered up to 66 2/3% of the person's average weekly wages, subject to minimums and maximum amounts. Medical expenses related to a work injury are paid without limit. When a business has one or more employees, coverage is required by law. We're looking for the false statement. Occupational disease is excluded. That is incorrect. Occupational disease would be covered. Which is true regarding workers' compensation coverage? The policy provides occupational and non-occupational coverage. Coverage is required under federal law. An employee may sue the employer in the event of injury. Premiums are based upon the gender of the employees. We're looking for what is true. It is true that an employee may sue the employer in the event of injury. However, workers' compensation is the exclusive remedy. Part 1 coverage is required statutory under state law. When the employee collects under Part 1, they no longer have the right to sue their employer. The employee has the right to forego benefits under Part 1 and sue their employer. The employer has liability coverage related to this lawsuit under Part 2 of the workers' compensation policy, employer's liability. Which is incorrect regarding Part 2 of a workers' compensation policy. It covers employee discrimination. It provides coverage for the employer if an employee sues. Cost of defense is included. An employee who collected under Part 1 cannot sue under Part 2. We just talked about that. We're looking for the incorrect statement. It covers employee discrimination. That is false. All of the other choices are all true. When an employee injury is caused by the employee's lack of following safety procedures, the workers' compensation claim is reduced by 50%, denied, reduced by 25%, paid in full. Paid in full is the answer. Workers' compensation is no fault. A business's workers' compensation premium is based primarily upon which of the following factors? The business's payroll, job classifications, and prior claims experience, states that the business does business in, age of employees, years in business. Workers' compensation policy premiums are based upon the business's payroll, job classification, and prior claims experience. Workers' compensation benefits under Part 1 are determined by the company purchasing the policy, federal law, state law, the insurer. Workers' compensation benefits under Part 1 are statutory. They are required by state law. All right, good job. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn those notifications on. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments below. If you'd like to check out PassMasters course offerings or to enroll in any of our programs, there is a link in this video's description. Keep up the good work. Happy studies. Study, 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 pass!